Hi guys, it's Diane with Southern City Girl. Today I'm going to make a salsa. And I'm going to make it the way that my daddy used to make it. I'm going to make it just a little bit different. I'm just going to add a few things that I want to add into it. But it's very easy. I call it a gringo salsa. But it's very good, so just try it and see if you like it. Okay, let me bring it down here so you can see all of my ingredients. You're not going to be able to see me. As many of you know, I live in a fifth wheel, and the challenges here are really hard to cook and show you the whole video, but we're doing our best. Okay. So first we're going to start out with 2 cans of Tortilla tomatoes. Let me make sure I get the correct, straighten this out a little bit. Okay, make sure I get the correct ounces for you guys. These are 10 ounces each. I'm going to use 1 mild diced tomatoes and green chili, Rotel. Okay. And I'm going to use 1 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes with habanero. Now, they have one with cilantro. I don't have any cilantro, I don't have any jalapenos, but I have these 2, so this is what we're using today. So, we're going to dump them in our bowl. So there's those. Now, we don't want all, see how they're all chunky, see like that? We don't want them all chunky like that. So what we're going to do, I have my little tiny chopper here. This was given to me by Tanya, my daughter-in-law, years ago when they first got married, and this thing has lasted me forever. I love it. So we're going to take probably about half of this, or we're going to see how much is going to fit in here. I'm really not sure. Okay. Before I chop all these up, this is what's left in here. So we do have some chunks, which you do want some chunks in here. We do anyway. Okay? And you have your juice. Now what I'm going to do before I turn this on and start blending it all up is I'm going to add my spices because they're going to get all blended in with here. So I'm going to put just a little bit of salt. Not too much because this stuff's probably already salted. You know what? As a matter of fact, I changed my mind. Hang on a minute, guys. I decided I'm going to do something else besides regular salt. I'm going to put in garlic salt. Okay. So we have 1/4 of a teaspoon here. Okay, and we're going to put 1/4 of a teaspoon on top of the tomatoes inside of the chopper. And we're going to put about a fourth of a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Okay. And I have my cumin in my little jars that you guys see on my stove sometimes with all my other spices. I'm going to put 1/4, a level, make sure it's level because I'm going to taste it. I might put some more cumin in later, but this is cumin, so I'm going to put 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin in here. Cumin can be very strong, and the only thing I can say is just do it to your taste. Okay, so we're going to turn my little trusty chopper on. And we're going to blend it all up. Now you can blend it as much as you want. Let me show you the consistency of it now. Right here. See this? So let me see if I can... If you can see it, next to the chopped tomatoes, how much we blended it up. See the difference? Okay. It's up to you how many chunks you want in your salsa, how chunky you want it, how smooth you want it. It's completely up to you. But I did just about 1 can, and I blended it up really good with the seasonings in it. Now I'm going to mix it together, and we're going to see what we think of that so far. I'm going to taste it a little bit. We're going to taste it. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, that's a little warm for me. Oh, that's why. If you don't like hot, don't use that can, because this is a little warm. But maybe when we eat our chips with it, maybe it'll tone it down some. Oh, I hope so. Okay. So what else I'm going to add is I'm going to add some green onions. I'm going to chop off these. Now remember, in my other videos, I told you how I save all of my onion pieces, my carrot pieces, and all that from my bone broth. So far I've got 2 green onions right here, which I'm going to slice it this way because these 2 are pretty thick. And then I'm just going to slice them. I think I'm going to slice them in half and put them together to try to make this a little faster here. Green onions give this a really different taste than just regular onions, which I like. And my daddy put green onions in it. My daddy did not put green and white onions in it. Now that's 2 green onions. He only put the green onions in it. But I am going to add half of this onion. This is a small onion right here. I'm going to add half of it. And I've showed you before how I cut my onions. I cut it in half, leaving the end on. Right there. Don't cut that off. Peel it. Save your peelings too, right there. Kid you not, there's so many vitamins and flavor in these peelings also for your bone broth. Okay. So I'm going to slice it this way. I'm bring it down here a little bit more. I don't know if you need to come down a little closer. Okay. So we're going to slice it like this. Then we're going to go underneath. We're going to slice it, leaving some of your onion on the bottom. You know, so that you can have some onion. Now it depends on what size you guys want too. You can do a big, small, however you want it. This is the way that I'm going to do it. And when you get to the end here, a lot of times it's not. There's more skin on it. Let me get it off. It's not sliced the way you did. All you have to do is just basically chop it up. Just rough chop it, guys. Getting as much as you can off of there. Look, that's how much I got off there. I just have this right here left. But I'm going to save it for my bone broth. Okay? So just roughly chop all this. Okay, and we're going to put it in our salsa right here. Okay guys, that's pretty much it. I think I've got everything. Okay, we're going to take and mix this around. Mix our salsa around. And I want to show you. Look at the difference. See, it's not all chunky. Now there are some chunks in there. Now if you want yours all smooth, the way I did the first can, go ahead and do the first can. But basically, that's it. Now, my daddy ate this salsa with crackers. But we're going to make some tortilla chips. Now keep in mind, guys, this was hot. I'm going to taste it again. Okay. Now that's not as warm as the first bite I took. I don't know if I grabbed just a piece of habanero, but it's still warm. Still kind of warm. Now tomorrow, it's going to be even hotter. When you let your salsa sit in the refrigerator, it gets all the flavors together. It tastes so much better. But try it. This is really good, guys. Okay, now we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the tortilla chips. Okay, now I've got, let me show you what I'm going to do. We're going to do corn chips too. But have you ever taken a flour tortilla, cut it up, and fried it? Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so, so good. Try it. You're really going to like it. We went to a Mexican restaurant in California, and all we had to do was just request flour chips. They would bring them to our table at no charge, and they were so good. So it depends on if you like flour chips or not. And if you don't know if you do, just take them and fry them up and try it. Now I've cut 2 big flour tortillas in half, because I have 2. So I cut them in half. Let me bring you guys back up here. Lordy be. Okay, guys. Okay, so I cut 2 big flour tortillas in half. And we're going to put them together like this. Okay. So that you have a half of a moon shape. Okay, half of a moon shape. So it depends on, again, how big do you want your chips? Do you want small chips? Do you like little chips? Well, I'm going to show you 2 different ways that I'm going to do it. Okay, so we're going to start at the edge right here. You're just going to cut a little triangle like that, right at the edge. See? And here, you got 3 of them right now, but you're going to have 4 as we keep going. Okay, now you can do them triangle like that, or you can do them in strips like this. So you could either cut them triangle, or you can cut them strips. Or you can just kind of, roughly cut them, however they come out. Now if you want all triangle, then just keep cutting the triangles however it comes out. But I'm just cutting them how they come out and how I get them off of here. We're not picky with how our chips are, as long as they're big enough to get some of the salsa on it so you can stuff it in your mouth. That's really all we care about. Okay, that's 2 large flour chips. So I'm going to set these aside right here. And I have some corn tortilla chips that have split. And they're not good for tacos. I have used them in enchiladas, but we're not going to do that anymore. So I'm going to take, and cook as many as you guys want. This isn't really a whole lot for a party or a crowd, but it's going to be enough for us tonight. So that's all I'm going to cook. And you know, with the holidays coming up, guys, this is going to be these are really going to be a hit, these flour chips. Okay. So right now, I'm going to take 4 of the corn tortillas. Okay. And don't worry about these splits right here. However they come out, they're going to come out. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to cut them in half, just like I did the flour tortillas. I'm going to put them in half like that. They're half a moon shape, like that. Just pile them on top of each other, because this is easier to cut this way. Faster. Okay? Start at the end, right here. So you're going to be cutting it like this. Okay? And then just kind of keep going around. Make your triangles however you want to do it. Like I said, you could do the strips like this, or you could do the triangles however you guys want to do it. It's completely up to you. Okay, so that's all of these I'm going to do. When they fry up, this is going to be a lot. Okay, so I'm going to bring you over here to my stove. Okay guys, I've had my oil going. I did turn it down, so we're going to let it heat up just a little bit more, and then we're going to put the chips in. So while I do that, I'm going to show you. Get a bowl. This is my trusty little plastic bowl. I've told you guys that I use it for so many things. My daddy used it for popcorn. That's what we do. So get you any bowl that you want, line it with a paper towel. Because as soon as these get done in here, you're going to put them in here and then you're going to salt them so the salt collects on to the chips. Excuse me. Alright, we are going to do our flour chips first, and we're going to see if it's hot enough. No, it's not hot enough. It is bubbling just a little bit, but I want it just a little bit hotter than that. I want to hear the sizzle when I first put it in. Okay, it looks like it's getting there. And these, keep in mind that flour tortillas cook a lot faster than the corn tortillas, so you have to really watch them. Take them out before they get brown because they still continue to cook. Okay, let's try another one. Nope, still not where I want it. Almost though. It's almost there. I did not hear my sizzle. So we'll let these cook a little bit. And probably when these are done, it's going to be ready for me to put the rest of them in. And again, let me remind you guys, I am cooking on a propane stove. And it is harder to cook on a propane stove than it is a gas stove. To me it is anyway, especially when it's little like this, because I don't have very much room in here to cook. But I'm doing the best that I can. And that's all you can do, guys. Just do the best you can. You know, don't ask for more. Don't have people expect you to have, give you more. Be yourself, guys. Just be yourself. Okay, now see this one? It's almost done. See how it's getting a little brown there, right there, like that? I'm going to pull it out. Because this is about the stage that you want right here. That color. Because it's going to continue to cook. I'll put it in there. And this one too. See? Okay. Now I think my oil is hot enough. Let's see if we hear the sizzle. Okay, there's my sizzle. You guys hear it? That's what you want to hear. That's when you know that your oil is hot enough. So I put about half of the flour tortillas in here. And they're cooking up really good. Now this one is one that I took out. It's very, very hot. Here, listen. Crunchy, but not as crunchy as I like. Okay. Now I'm just stirring these around a little bit. You really don't have to when you have this much oil. You can press them down like this. But, I think it's just a habit of mine. So you can just push them down. Now see, some of them are getting done faster than the others, which is... This is what I find is really hard, because some of them do get done faster. So you're going to have to kind of judge when you want to take them all out. And I suggest you start taking them all out before they get too brown, because you can't take them all out at the same time. No, I can't anyway. I have to take them out little by little. And they're getting brown. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to take these out. See them? You can see the color. That's a good color. These are your flour tortillas. These are not your corn chips, your corn tortillas. Okay. Now, I'm going to leave my fire on, but turn it down just a little bit, not too much, because I want to show you what I'm going to do with this. Okay, here's your flour tortilla chips. Sprinkle a little bit of salt on it. Shake them around. Now, don't put a lot of salt on, because a lot of people don't like a lot of salt, like I do. They can always add salt as they're doing it. But look at that. Look how beautiful those are. Aren't those pretty? Flour chips. Have you ever made flour chips? You can also do this with cinnamon and sugar. Those are really good too. Okay, my oil's still hot, so let's get on with the rest of it. This is our second batch of flour chips. Okay, I'm going to cook this second batch of flour chips, guys, and when I come back we'll do the corn chips and show you how we're going to do those, okay? Okay, we'll be back. Okay guys, we finished our flour chips and salted them and shook them up like we did the first batch, so do that. Now we're going to start on our corn chips. You do these corn tortillas the same way that you're going to do your flour chips. And when you guys are putting this stuff in the oil, be very, very, very careful not to splash it, because it will splash very, very easy, so be careful. You don't want to get burned. So we're going to cook these just like we did the flour tortillas. These are the corn tortillas. Turn my fire up a little bit because I don't want it to, when you put something cold in here, the fire temperature goes down. So I turned it up a little bit to keep it the high temperature for my next batch. We're going to do the same thing when these are done. We're going to put them in our bowl lined with a paper towel. If you want to, if it's too greasy in there, you can get a new one. I'm going to leave this one in here, it's fine. And then sprinkle salt on top of it if you want salt. You don't have to put any salt if you don't want salt. And then just kind of shake your bowl a little bit. And put them in a bowl or a platter or a plate, however you're going to serve them. And I'll show you how I'm going to serve these when these are done. Now, one thing I found cooking corn tortilla chips is sometimes it's really hard to see when they really get brown. So I'm going to turn my other light on. Okay, I hope it's not too bright. They're getting there. Remember what I said, flour tortillas don't take as long to cook as corn chips do. These take a little bit longer. And it looks like some of them are kind of small, like that. That's not going to be very easy to try to get some salsa on that. So you might even want to make it a little bit bigger than that. I would next time. I'd make them bigger. But they'll work. We'll make it work. Just make it work. If you guys make a mistake, make it work. Don't throw your food out to start all over again. That is wasteful. We cannot waste food today, guys, especially today with food being so high and you can't even find some of the things on the shelves anymore. It's ridiculous. Do not throw anything away unless it's spoiled. If it's spoiled and not edible, then that's a little different. If you put way too much pepper in it and you cannot eat it, then that's a little different. But because you made a little mistake like this, getting some of your chips too small, like I did, don't throw those out. You can use them. Okay, I think these are ready. Okay, see how they're pretty brown. You see that? Okay, so we'll go ahead and take these out now. Turn my fire down just a little bit. I don't want to lose my heat. Okay, pick them up with my strainer. Strain as much oil as you can off. Okay, these are going to be okay. These are going to be hot enough to put salt on it in just a minute. I want to get the other chips in here. Okay, be careful. Like I said, they splash. Okay, now, put as much salt as you want on it. I'm going to put just a little bit. Shake it up. And put them in your bowl or your platter, whatever you're using. Remember this pan I told you guys I bought at a thrift store? I tell you, this thing is like a little tiny wok. And it's so deep that putting these in here is really nice, because the oil doesn't get everywhere and doesn't splatter you too much. These are cooking really good. And I didn't turn my fire up either, which is fine. And I think right now, since the oil is really hot and I don't have a whole lot of chips in there, they're just about ready, I'm going to turn my fire off. It's propane. Propane is very expensive. So I don't want to use any more than I have to. Okay, these are ready to come out. Now see, I don't know why I did that. Usually I make these chips a lot bigger than this. But, like I said, I'm not going to throw them away, because we're not going to be wasteful. Okay, here's these. Little salt. Shake them up. And put them where you're going to put them at. Okay guys, let me turn my stove light off, and I'm going to bring you over here so that you can see where I put the chips at. Let me back you up a little bit here. Okay, so right here, there it is. Chips and salsa, gringo style. Okay, you can put them in a little dish like this, and look at all this we have left. That was just out of 2 cans. So it depends on if you have a party or something. Remember, 2 cans make a lot. I would start out with 2 cans, and if you want more, add more. So there you go. There it is, guys. I hope you enjoy. God bless you guys. Always remember who you are. Always be kind. And always forgive. Have a very good day, guys. Bye.